want to discover the way and walk fully upon the way so that we may be perfected by our journey. A man walked 1,000 blocks carrying 200-pound weights in both arms. How many blocks did I say he walked? 1,000 blocks. When he get down that 1,000 blocks, he gonna look a particular way. If he had to sleep and rest and get something to eat and keep walking, by the time he get those 1,000, he gonna be something totally different. He will be how perfected by that what? Path. Perfected by that journey. And if you take another man and walk him down the same path, and he gets to the end of them 1,000 miles after he's rested, slept, and ate, he will be perfected in a similar manner because of the path. The path goes on after us. See, this is the failure when people come here and they say they're deities because they're saying that, hey, I'm the Messiah so that you can get into an afterlife. And they're creating a hereafter. So people say, well, I'm going to get into salvation after I die. So they lose us right there. Because what we should be looking for is the perfected way of living and being. Right? We should not be looking for where we are going to go after death. We got too much time here. People are killing themselves, worried about what they're going to do after death. Living in hell on earth, eating improperly, not loving each other, disrespecting one another, being total and utter slaves to the weakest, most recessive entity has ever have been created. But they're worried about where they're going to go after they die. But they're not manifesting anything of their real perfection while they're here. And then you look at the pharaohs, look at them statues of those deities, and see how perfect they look. See their perfection. But we don't walkers. We limping, trying to limp into heaven. You know what I'm making? Literally. Got walkers, wheelchairs. Let's look at the reality of the situation. Tremendously overweight. Literally. We're trying to get into heaven after we die. But we see beings who existed in heaven while they were alive. You know why we want to go to heaven? People want to get to heaven so bad? Because they don't believe in their mind that they have any ability to produce heaven here. They say, well, since we can't beat the white man, we got to have a heaven somewhere else. Y'all hear the point I'm making? They have so much given up on their ability to manifest perfection while they are living. They have given up on that so bad. They have become so fatalistic that they figure, well, hell, if there's any heaven for me, it must be after life. Because hell is definite here. Because I'm not going to challenge any of this filth. Any of this environment. I'm not going to have no demands to manifest heaven while I'm on this earth. So it got to be in the afterlife. So I become religious. So I don't have to work on perfecting myself as a god and building and learning my martial arts, my tai chi, my way. I don't have to perfect myself as an individual. Be diligent, be consistent, be scientific, be strategic. I don't have to do any of these things. I'm just going to get into heaven after I die. This is the attitude that they have, and they become religious. And they sit and they read these religious books. They read these religious books and just sit still. And they don't work. They work hard for the European. And when it comes to their own salvation, they sit and read religious books about getting into heaven after life, after they die. That's ridiculous. They don't want to perfect themselves on earth. Because any concept of perfection of them is too huge for their mind to grasp. They say, I cannot be happy here. Because happiness is a responsibility. I'm about to go heavy now. This is why people become religious. Because they don't want the responsibility of happiness. Happiness is a responsibility. It ain't easy. It means you must challenge. It means you must be determined. You must have dignity to be unhappy. You must have the dignity not to be unhappy. You have no dignity, you don't care whether you're happy or not. I'll make the best of it. I'll be in heaven after I die. Is this how they think? Literally. Because to be happy, you have to say no to your unhappiness. You have to really have gotten so dissatisfied that you are willing to struggle to no longer be unhappy with any given situation or circumstance. Do that make sense? You say the taste of struggle is more sweeter than the bitterness of captivity. Y'all hear the point I'm making? The taste of struggle for happiness, for freedom, is sweeter than the bitterness of limitation, of captivity, of enslavement. So you say no to captivity. You say no to to being engaged in the limited perceptions of you. You say no to all of that. And once you say no sincerely, and you walk from that, you have begun the path of perfection. You have begun the path to be able to build freedom. It takes dignity to do that. Our people do not have dignity. They don't have the dignity. It takes dignity to take responsibility for their happiness. That's a challenge for most people. So they'll deal with whatever. We ain't going to be responsible to have to deal with this society so these people respect us so we have a safe place to walk. When they shoot, I'll just duck.